Hey guys, it's Thursday, and I apologize if it's a little dark to start this video because it's 6:21. Got out very late from work. Wasn't a bad day. It was just ended up being a very long one for me. So again, sometimes I guess this stuff kind of happens, and all is good. No one died, nothing bad happened, so all is good. It's not ideal per se, but all is good. If you see the shirt I'm wearing, I'm not sure how well you can see, but if you can see the shirt I'm wearing, it might look a little familiar if you are a real OG. This was, I know it's just a shirt, but this was a shirt that I wore. It's pink, if you can't tell. But this was the shirt that I wore in my very first ever video that I made. This was really the shirt that kind of kick-started all this whole journey that me and all you guys are going through now. It was really this shirt that led to a series of very good thoughts for me, and it kind of opened my mind to a lot of things, and really just inspired me to say screw it and make a YouTube video and a channel out of all this. So really, even though it's just a shirt, it's just some inanimate object, it really did inspire and create quite a wonderful and good and honestly pretty beautiful journey that, again, me, you, and whoever else is watching these is on. I haven't worn the shirt in a while, and again, I do really like it, so I thought I'd pay a little homage and bust out one more time before it starts getting seriously fall-like with all the weather and the cold and crispiness of it all. And I guess there must be something sewn within these fabrics of the shirt I'm wearing, because I had a really good series of thoughts today, and they're very good thoughts, and they're very powerful thoughts. And again, I want to apologize if you've been keeping up with this past week of videos. You'll almost stalled out. Jeez. If you've been keeping up with the past week of videos, you would have probably noticed that they've been very wing-it-y and very honestly kind of random and disorganized. And don't get me wrong, they've gotten very good points across, and I'm very happy with that. But they have been quite unorganized, if you ask me. And so I didn't want to go 3 for 3 of the week, since this is the last video of the week. I didn't want to go 3 for 3 and just give you 3 kind of random wing it days. I felt you guys deserved at least one solidly structured, sorry if you can hear that, but I feel like you guys deserve at least one solidly structured video. And so that's what I did. I had this really good series of thoughts, and I'll give more background behind them in a little bit, but I had these really good thoughts, and I jotted them down in my phone during my lunch break, and clearly the sun is pretty much almost set by now, which it was a good sunset. I saw it walking out of the office. It's a cool sunset, so all is well. But I wrote down these thoughts, and kind of had a little moral dilemma with writing them down and talking to you guys about it, because they're such good and strong and powerful thoughts that, you know, I really want to like nail this presentation to you guys. And what I really like about this whole channel is you're getting, you know, the most pure and authentic form of really me and my thoughts as possible. But, you know, I really do want to give you guys the very best, especially today. And so what I did is I took the notes from my phone and I wrote them down, pen and paper, into my notebook that I, you know, bring to work every day. And we'll see when I actually can be able to do this, but I want to read it out aloud to you just so I know that I get everything across in the way that I want to. So that's what we're gonna do. So now probably would be the best time to do it, since, you know, I'm kind of sitting in traffic right now, which I'm honestly kind of surprised about because it is almost 6:30 right now. But I do want to give you guys some background, so maybe I'll give you guys a background and whatever, we'll see what happens. And maybe I'll just read it once I get home so I don't, you know, crash and something bad happens to me and no more videos can be made. But really what inspired the thoughts that I had today, and I know I'm going to build this up so much throughout the video, however long it ends up being, but hopefully hopefully the stuff that I have written down ready to speak to you guys is well worth it. I think it is. But anyways, what inspired my thoughts for today was, so I'm wearing this shirt, and you know, if you keep up with this channel, you know that I like to eat outside during my lunch break, and I like to eat outside and just kind of be outside during the hour that I get in the middle of the day to give to myself. Really, that's really what I enjoy doing, and I think it's very impactful for me in a very positive way, so that's why I do it. And, you know, as it is, what, October 10th today? Yeah, it's October 10th, so we're really getting more and more into the fall and therefore cold weather. Today was definitely a big step in that direction. Recently this week, it's been very nice, surprisingly, weather-wise and how warm it's been, but especially today, it took a big step more towards, honestly, how it should be. A lot more wind, a lot more chill in the air, and you know, because of that, I was one of the only people that was outside during lunch. You know, as soon as it gets a little cold and windy, everyone just stays inside. And so I was kind of thinking about that for a little bit. I was like, oh my God, like, everyone around me just seems to be, you know, fair weather people. I'm like one of the only, I don't want to say I'm the only one, but I was one of the only people outside, you know, during their lunch break. Normally there was a lot of people at the campus that were on, kind of hanging out outside and walking around and eating and, you know, just being with other people outside during lunch. But really today it was me and very few other people. And credit to those few other people, because they get it, they understand, I guess, what I'm kind of thinking in my head. And, you know, I was also thinking, you know, I woke up early, as I always do during the week, to do some exercise, and today it was a run day. And, you know, everyone always seems to get up at around a certain time in the morning, especially people who are working a 9 to 5. And, so when I was outside this morning on my run, I noticed that it was extremely quiet. And kind of what I mean by that is that there was never really a lot of cars or people around on my run. But today it felt especially more quiet, a lot less cars and a lot less people that I saw during the early hours of the morning that I was awake and, you know, exercising before work. And, you know, I've also noticed, talking about this, that, say when I go to the gym at the time in the morning that I do, there's a decent amount of people there, but it's not too busy, it's not too crowded, not too many people. And when I had off of work earlier this week on Monday, I gave myself like an hour or two extra sleep, which I felt I needed. And so I still woke up early to go to the gym and still want to be somewhat productive on my off day. But so I woke up an hour or two later and went to the gym, an hour or two later than I normally do. And compared to what it's normally like crowded wise when I go during the week in the morning, it was so much more crowded. Honestly, way too many people there. Not what I was used to. So then that also I was also kind of reminded of that, of how, once it gets before a certain hour in the morning, no one's at the gym. And it's only after a certain hour in the morning that all of a sudden the gym is swarmed with people. I'm sure that's a lot easier of something to relate to. But so I had those two things in my mind of, as soon as it, hits a certain time of the year or a certain degree of temperature or a certain condition of weather outside, everyone just stays inside. No one's outside. And once it hits a certain hour of the morning, then everyone starts to flock to the gym. So, so with that, and I don't want to go too deep without getting into what I have written down on this, notebook right next to me, but going off of that, it kind of clicked with me that everyone is kind of the same, or 95% of all the people in the world, I think, is a good percentage to look at it. They all behave, and they all think, and they all act exactly the same way. And with that, it's probably not the most ideal or positive way. And again, without getting too deep into that, I think that, again, 95% of the people in the world we live in today live that way. And really, you shouldn't. You can choose not to, and you should not, if that makes sense. It's very easy, because with how average 95% of the population is, it's very easy to be above average, at the very least. It's very easy to do that with how average the world, at least to me, seems today. So again, I don't want to get, I think I'm going to leave it there and then read you guys what I have written down at the very end. So I'm kind of scamming you guys to stay until the very end of the video. I realize just now that you can just fast forward and then just skip all of the rest of my yapping I have for you guys. But anyways, yeah, so you gotta wait till the end of the video to hear what I actually have to say about everything surrounding that. Again, I'd highly recommend that you do, because I think it's very good and it's very powerful. And it helped me a lot in the moment. So with that being said, I'm sure it can help you guys out a lot as well. That's always my hope with all these, of course. These videos are always cool to make for me, and they're always impactful in a positive way for me. But at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's all about trying to help out you guys as much as I can. Myself having a positive impact, or having that doesn't really make sense. All this stuff having a positive impact on me is really kind of more just a byproduct of being able to help out all you guys as much as I possibly can. Again, because we're all in this together. We're all on the same team at the end of the day, and we're all really just trying to learn how to live each and every day. wanna do my part in trying to help you guys as well as myself figure out all that stuff, because that's what's really important to me. So yeah, I honestly think we're gonna have to just wing it until the end of the video, which it's okay because we'll stick with the common theme of the week, but we'll end on a very high note, so that's good. But yeah, looking back on this week, it's been very random, which again, it's okay. Nothing's ever perfect, and I'm really just letting this all happen as naturally and as really just as naturally as as I can. I've been pretty busy this week, and it's only getting busier, so I was really glad I was able to have some organized and very profound thoughts today. But just with how life and how work is right now, I'm very occupied mentally and physically all the time, and it just kind of naturally leads to me not being able to find some silence and let my mind kind of wander and let my soul kind of speak to me, and then it just results in me having to do a few more wing it days than I normally do during the week. So again, I'm still just learning and figuring everything out. So don't expect every day to be a wing it day from here on out. But it's one of those learning weeks and realization and adjustment weeks for me. So again, finding positive in everything, all is good. But I think it is interesting that looking back of when I was when I was coming into the office every day, 5 days a week, and I was therefore making videos for you guys 5 days a week. It was good because I was really kind of squeezing and draining my mind of every good thing that I had to give, which is good. But it did kind of lead to feeling almost like mentally kind of drained and exhausted by the end of the week, which again is kind of a good problem to have, with all this stuff that I'm doing. And then making the change that I did recently of only coming into the office 3 days a week, it allows for much more room for natural thought to flow through my mind. And because of it, I have a lot more things to say and in a lot less time, which again is a different problem, and again a different good problem to have, but it is interesting, that stuff that I've kind of noticed. So that's why these videos this past week might have been seeming a bit unorganized and random in a way, is because maybe I'll say a few weeks ago I would have one profound-ish thought, and I would just run with that one thought for a whole video, and now it's I have a lot more thoughts flowing through my head, and so I'm trying to squeeze a lot more kind of shorter and more random thoughts into each video. So again, bear with me as I figure it all out, but we're getting better every day, and good things are happening every day, more and more. So yeah, not really sure where else to go with that, but looking forward to next week. It is Thursday, so one more day in the work week until we're into the weekend, and looking forward to the weekend too, as I feel you always should. You should always, look forward to what's to come instead of, say dreading what's to come. But at the same time, don't live in the future too much, as well as the past, but in this case, don't live in the future too much. Try to live as much as you can in the present moment, because that's where you have ever been in your life, and that's where you will always be. You will always be in the now. You won't ever be anywhere else. So don't, just remember, every now and then, just to take a deep breath, look around, and be in the now and live in the now. Because again, doing realizing that more and more and practicing doing that more and more, you really do find a lot more beauty in everyday life. And I think that's pretty important for, living a good, happy, successful life. So yeah, it's also kind of funny, side note, that it's pretty dark out now. Again, the sun is setting very early nowadays with this whole transition in fall. But yeah, side note, doesn't really mean anything. But yeah. So what else can I blabber on about until I get home? I know I'm baiting you guys, but I'm not necessarily mad about it, again, because I think it's, one, kind of funny, and two, I genuinely do believe that, what I have waiting for you guys in the next couple minutes is very important, especially for me. And I really think if you'll be ever so patient with me, can really impact your life in the best way possible. So yeah, looking forward to next week, both weekend-wise and also work-wise. And yeah, just choosing to look at all the good instead of all the bad. Both are out there, but choosing what you want to pay attention to and to really feed, in a way, is ultimately what I feel will determine much of the quality of the life that you live. It's all just a matter of perception at the end of the day. So give yourself a good perception. But yeah, what else? If I'm being totally transparent with you guys, this week at work was one of challenge and, quite honestly, struggle for me. But, as much as that, and I know this is a message that I'm kind of repeating from past videos, but as much as that stuff kind of sucks in the moment, there really is still so much good that ends up coming out of it. You go through challenge and struggle, and it sucks, but at the end of the day, you do learn and you do grow, despite you feeling very dumb in that moment. You do learn so much and you do grow so much because of all that stuff that you go through. And also, if you're kind of in a position like me where you're working a 9 to 5 and you're working within a team, within a company, you go through challenge and you go through struggle within a group or around other people, at least. And in one way or another, it always just draws you closer to the people around you. I know this isn't something that I'm realizing now for the first time. It really kind of hit me with all this collegiate sports that I did back in the day. Since I'm washed up now, but it's so meaningful being part of a group or a team, or really just a community, or something really just bigger than just yourself. Because you can go through so much, say, negative stuff, if you want to put some sort of label on it, but because you're going through it with other people, even though it's not necessarily a good thing in the moment, it really does bring you so much closer together. And it really does strengthen the bond and the meaning and really the beauty to you and those around you, and to really the whole general thing that you're doing in the first place. So if you're going through tough times, just try to remember that every now and then. never alone in whatever problems or challenges or struggles that you're going through. There's always other people in this world that are going through the same thing and that are thinking the same thing, that are dealing with the same thing. And even though you might not know those people necessarily, they are out there. And so just know that you're never alone. And kind of a good challenge for yourself is to find those people. Find those people that you can relate to, and people that share the same thoughts and goals and dreams and visions and aspirations and all that stuff that you do. Find your people. If you're feeling down, you feel like no one understands you, or no one seems to think the way that you do, or behave in the way that you do, or have the same goals or whatnot that you do, you're not alone. You're just currently in a community where you're not fully valued and appreciated. So again, with that being said, just give yourself a challenge and give yourself kind of a life task in a way to, find your people, find your community, find the place that will value and appreciate and love you, as you should be. So yeah, if I'm getting harder and harder to see, again, I apologize. Maybe I'll end up turning a light on in a minute once I get home, but we're almost there, so just hang tight another minute or two. But yeah, and just remember that everyone has their own unique problems, situations, challenges, circumstances that they're going through, and you never know what they are, and it's quite honestly none of your business most of the time. But with that, just toss people waves and smiles and positive greetings when you see them, because once again, you never know how far that kind of stuff can go for other people. So just why not do it? Also, just ask yourself that question a lot more as well. Just the simple question of why not. If you're thinking a little too hard about doing something or anything really, just ask yourself why not. Why not? That's really all there is to it. I can almost guarantee you that it's not that deep at the end of the day, and that you won't die, say if things don't go your way. So why not? If you're thinking about anything in general, and you're thinking a little too deeply about it, just ask yourself why not, and then go out and do it. So I'm just gonna turn around real quick because I forgot to earlier. I'm finally home. I'm sure I'm gonna, surprise everyone in my house when I come home and have a decent amount of explaining to do, but that can wait. This is kind of more of the priority here. But I'm home now, so what that means is I can finally stick to my word and read you guys what I wrote down. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All right, here we go. I'm excited. Hopefully you can see me better. So here's what I got for you guys. Again, all right, so I was thinking, and this is kind of a more organized series of thoughts of stuff that I've mentioned in prior videos. So I think it's good to mention to check out those videos, even though they are kind of long and random and disorganized. They do get very good messages across, so do check them out. But so this is a topic that starts with thinking about risk. And I was thinking in ways of primal risk versus modern risk. You know, if you're a caveman, taking a risk would mean sneaking into, say, a bear den to steal food for your tribe. And in this case, with the risk surrounding that, if you fail, you know, you'll die. But fast forwarding to modern times that we find ourselves in, looking at the risks that we take nowadays, say, for example, switching career paths in order to provide a stronger sense of purpose in your life. In this case, if you take this risk and you fail, you won't die. So I think it's important to note, something that I've realized is, because of our primal DNA that still exists within all of us, and as well as, especially too, our childhood upbringing and the way that we were raised growing up, we tend to associate risk, failure, and death all as the same thing. And because of that, we very much, I feel, shy away from risk nowadays, even though, as I mentioned with modern risk, it most of the time will never end up killing us at the end of it. So I think it's very important to realize this and to make actions of breaking this subconscious loop that we all have in our minds. Because, you know, again, it's no longer true that if we take a risk and we fail, we won't die. You know, life will go on. Everything will be all right. So going off of that, I think it's very important to take risks in your life. And just to reiterate one more time, take risks because you won't die if it doesn't end up working out. So what that means, just as a short list of examples, is to, say, change jobs, move to a new location, learn new things, and take up new interests and ways of living. Challenge yourself, do difficult things, and change things up. Go on that dream vacation. Ask out that girl on a date. Follow your highest passions and dreams. And really, start a YouTube channel and wear a pink shirt. All right, next page. So going off of that and branching off of that a little bit and coming back to talking about everyone seeming to be very average nowadays. Everyone is so average nowadays that it seems quite easy to be in the top 5%. And there's a David Goggins quote, and shout out if you know him, if you know, you know. But David Goggins once said on a podcast that it's so easy to be great in this world because everyone is so weak. Like I've mentioned before, no one wakes up early, no one goes outside in unideal conditions, no one questions the world around them, no one questions themselves and their abilities. And I think it's very important because everyone has potential, but it seems like no one, or at least close to no one, has ambitions or has discipline. Don't live that way. Go against this wave that we see in today's world of mediocrity, because really it's what I believe is keeping yourself, as well as humanity as a whole, stagnant. And really it's because that life is short and there's so much more out there if you just allow yourself to tap into it. Life is not just this one-dimensional burden that we're all forced to go through. There really is so much good, so much love, and so much beauty to be had in life. So with that, give it your best shot, because I promise you won't die. So yeah, that's what I wrote down today. That's what I was thinking today. Had a very profound impact on me and especially my day, so really hope on that it does the same for you guys. So with that, I'm gonna end it here because it's very late, it's very dark, and I'd like to eat dinner soon. So just remember that there's a lot more to it than you think. Remember to ask me questions and leave suggestions. Remember to share this video and this channel if you feel it could help people you know, or just other people in general. And just remember that I'm always on your side, and I'm always rooting for you guys. I'm always in your corner. And just remember that, you know, life is beautiful. Life is good. As it always is, and it always will be, and it always has been. So yeah, last video of the week. We will talk on Monday if everything goes according to plan, and I don't die from these risks that I'm taking, right? So yeah, we'll talk then. Hope you guys are all well today. Bye.